Hi, my name is Professor Aluminum. I am here to tell you my story on how I discovered three brand new elements. The three new elements I discovered are iridium, yttrium, and fryium. The letters inside the atoms are called the element symbols. These symbols are usually 2 to 3 letters long and start with a capital letter. Finally, let me tell you my story. My story went like this. Professor Aluminum was working hard in his lab on a peaceful night. All of a sudden, a meteorite crashed onto the land right before his eyes. Professor Aluminum had an idea to inspect the meteorite for new element samples. I have an idea. I found some samples. I'll bring them back to my lab. Professor Aluminum had discovered three brand new elements. These samples, they are from unknown places. Professor Aluminum decided to name these elements iridium, yttrium, and fryium. The elements were new elements. The elements had new properties and characteristics. These elements could also talk. Where do I belong on this table thing? The periodic table is a table of chemical elements arranged in atomic number. The atomic number is basically how many protons you contain. The atomic mass is the approximate amount of protons and neutrons you contain. The periodic table is arranged in vertical columns called families, and the horizontal rows are called periods. The period number tells you how many shells of electrons you have. You read the periodic table like a book, left to right. How can I determine what properties I have, and if I am a semi-metal, a non-metal, or a metal? There are 18 families in the periodic table. Your protons determines where you are placed in the periodic table. How many protons do you have anyways? Well, I have 135 protons. You would belong in group 3, the transition metals. They aren't very reactive. The transition metals are often used in jewelry and to make cookware. You would be metal. Transition metals are malleable. They are great conductors of heat and have high melting point. How many protons do you have, yttrium? Well, I have 136 protons. You would belong in group 4 of the transition metals. They aren't very reactive. The transition metals are often used in jewelry and to make cookware. You would be a metal also with iridium. Transition metals are malleable. They are great conductors of heat and have high melting points. How many protons do you have, fryium? Well, I have 149 protons. You would belong in group 17, the halogens. They are very reactive. Halogens such as chlorine are used in cleaning supplies, and you would be a non-metal. Halogens have low melting points, and they are also a span of all physical states. Do you guys know where you belong? Yes, we do. Thanks, Professor Aluminum. And that was my story.
Created using Powtoon.